Fire does not forget the one it was promised. The glow in the sky did not fade with the dawn. It pulsed. Asha sat on the cold ground, her legs folded beneath her, staring through the trees toward the red light that stained the horizon. Smoke drifted above the canopy in slow, curling fingers. Even from this distance, she could smell it, burnt oil, old wood, something bitter beneath it all. Harlan stood a few steps away, his back to her, scanning the forest. He had not slept. Neither had she. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw flames licking stone, heard chanting crawl into her ears. They shouldn't be able to do this, she said hoarsely. Harlan did not turn. They shouldn't have ever been allowed to. The pull in her chest returned, faint but steady, like a drum beaten far away. She pressed her palm against her sternum as if she could hold her heart in place. It's still calling, she whispered. Harlan nodded. I know. How do I make it stop? You don't, he said. You endure it. Until it breaks, or you do. Asha laughed weakly. That's not comforting. He finally looked at her then. His face was drawn, eyes shadowed. I won't lie to you, he said. What they started ties you to that shrine. To the fire. It's old magic. Older than any law I carry. Then the law means nothing, she said bitterly. No, Harlan replied. It means everything. Just not in the way you think. They moved again as the sun rose fully, careful to keep the forest between them and the village. The road Harlan had spoken of was still far. Asha's feet were blistered, her legs weak, but she walked. She had learned something important during the night. Stopping made the pull worse. Walking gave her something else to focus on. They crossed a shallow ravine where the earth was blackened, as if fire had once slept there. Asha avoided stepping on the dark patches, though she did not know why. By mid-morning, they reached a cluster of abandoned huts, an old trading outpost, half swallowed by vines. Roofs had collapsed. Doors hung loose on leather hinges. Harlan gestured for her to sit. We rest here. Asha sank onto a low stone wall. Her hands shook as she drank from the canteen. Tell me, she said after a while. Tell me everything. Harlan leaned against a post, rifle resting across his chest. The offering of fast flames was burned after a girl escaped 10 years ago, he said. She survived. Barely. She made it to the district office and spoke. Asha's breath caught. Another girl ran? Yes. What happened to her? Harlan hesitated. She disappeared, he said. Before she could testify. The pull in Asha's chest tightened sharply. They killed her, Asha said. Most likely, Harlan replied. Or the fire did. Hard to tell where one ends and the other begins. Asha stared at the dirt. Then there is no justice, she said quietly. There is, Harlan said. But it's slow. And it demands proof. He reached into his satchel and pulled out folded papers, worn at the edges. Orders, he said. Reports. Names. Asha looked up. I came here because of Kijana, he continued. Because rumors don't stay rumors forever. Then why didn't you stop them sooner? Because the Elder of Flames is careful, Harlan said. He hides behind tradition. Behind fear. And behind people like. He stopped. Like Tono, Asha finished. Harlan nodded once. The name tasted bitter. They stayed at the outpost until the heat of the day passed. Asha dozed in short, restless bursts, waking each time the pool flared or a sound startled her. Once, she dreamed she was standing at the shrine, watching another girl burn. When she woke, her cheeks were wet. As evening fell, the chanting began again. Closer this time. Asha stood abruptly. They are moving. Harlan listened. His jaw tightened. They are calling you back, he said. Through the bond. I won't go, she said. You might not have a choice, he replied gently. The forest darkened too quickly. Shadows pulled between trees. The chanting rose and fell, weaving through the trunks like smoke. Asha's vision blurred. I can feel it, she whispered. Like hands on my back. Harlan grabbed her shoulders. Listen to me. If it becomes too strong. I won't, she said fiercely. I won't be their offering. The ground trembled faintly. From the direction of the village, a scream rose, high, sharp, then cut off. Asha gasped. Someone else. Yes, Harlan said grimly. They chose a replacement. Her knees buckled. He caught her before she fell. This is my fault, she sobbed. If I had stayed. No, he said firmly. That is what they want you to believe. The chanting changed rhythm. Asha screamed as pain tore through her chest. She clawed at her skin, feeling heat bloom beneath her ribs. Harlan shouted her name. Her vision filled with fire. She saw the shrine. The ash circle. The bones. And then she saw herself. Standing in the flames. Her body arched. Her mouth open, but no sound came out. The vision shattered. Asha collapsed. When she woke, it was night. She lay on the dirt floor of one of the huts. A small fire burned nearby. Harlan sat beside it, his face pale in the flickering light. You almost went, he said quietly. She pushed herself up, dizzy. Did I? Yes. What stopped it? He looked at her for a long moment. Someone broke the circle, he said. Her heart skipped. Who? Your aunt. Asha froze. Manalia. She interfered with the ritual, Harlan said. She disrupted the fire. Asha's breath came fast. They'll kill her. Maybe, Harlan said. Or worse. The pull in Asha's chest shifted, no longer dragging her back, but twisting painfully, like a rope fraying. She betrayed them, Asha whispered. She chose you, Harlan corrected. Outside, the chanting faltered. Then stopped. Silence pressed in, thick and heavy. Harlan stood. This changes things. How? The elder won't let this stand, he said. He'll come for you himself now. As if summoned by his words, a horn sounded in the distance. One long note. Asha stood on shaking legs. I'm done running, she said. Harlan studied her. Good, he said. Because now we fight with the law. Only wait. The horn sounded again. And this time, it was not calling the village. It was calling Asha by name. The horn's cry faded slowly, as if the forest itself was swallowing it. Asha stood still long after the sound died, her name echoing inside her chest. Not spoken. Not shouted. Pulled. Harlan moved fast. He stamped dirt over the small fire, grinding the embers until only smoke remained. We leave now, he said. Before they closed the paths. Asha nodded, though her legs felt hollow. She followed him out of the hut, back into the forest that no longer felt like shelter. Every tree seemed to lean closer, listening. They did not speak as they walked. The pull had changed again. It no longer dragged her backward. Now it tugged sideways, like a hand on her shoulder, guiding her toward something unseen. Each time she strayed, a pain bloomed beneath her ribs, sharp, corrective. You feel it too, Harlan said quietly, watching her stumble. Yes. It's steering you. Toward where? He shook his head. The shrine. Or the elder. Or the end of this. Hard to say. They reached the old road by mid-morning. It was nothing more than two pale scars cut through the earth, overgrown but still visible. Harlan crouched, studying the ground. Tracks, he muttered. They've already been here. Asha hugged herself. The sun felt wrong on her skin now, too hot, too close. They followed the road north, toward the district post. Each step away from Kijana made her chest ache worse, as if something inside her were being stretched thin. By noon, her vision swam. I need to stop, she said. Harlan hesitated, then nodded. He led her off the road to a stand of trees where the shade was thick. She sank down, breath ragged. This thing, she said, pressing her chest. It's tearing me. Harlan knelt beside her. The bond weakens when the ritual is disrupted, he said. Your aunt bought us time. Asha swallowed. Will she leave? Harlan did not answer. They rested until her shaking eased, then moved again. The land changed slowly, fewer towering trees, more scrub, the smell of dust returning. Signs of people appeared, broken pottery, a discarded sandal, the fence post leaning crookedly. As afternoon wore on, the pull grew stronger. Asha cried out and dropped to her knees. It's close, she gasped. Whatever it is, it's close. Harlan scanned the horizon. There, he said, pointing. Smoke rose in a thin column ahead. Not black like ritual fire. Gray. Ordinary. They approached cautiously. The compound belonged to a trader, long abandoned. Its walls were cracked, the gate hanging loose. Inside, someone had built a fire and pitched a rough shelter. A man stood as they entered. He was older than Harlan, his uniform faded, his rifle resting casually against his shoulder. His eyes were sharp. Well, he said. You found her. Harris, Harlan said stiffly. Asha looked between them. Who is he? Trouble, Harlan replied. Harris smiled. That's not fair. He studied Asha with open curiosity. So this is her, he said. The girl they won't let burn. Asha felt the pull surge violently. She cried out, clutching her chest. Harris's smile widened. Oh, yes. You're tied deep. What are you doing here? Harlan demanded. Same as you, Harris said. Cleaning up. You're lying. Harris shrugged. We all lie. He stepped closer to Asha. You know, he said softly, this would be easier if you went back. Asha recoiled. No. They'd stop hunting, Harris continued. The village would settle. The administration wouldn't need to intervene. Harlan stepped between them. You're suggesting we hand her over. I'm suggesting, Harris said calmly, that one life might prevent many. Asha stared at him. You're supposed to protect us. Harris laughed quietly. I protect order. The pull flared again, sharper than before. Asha screamed. Harris's eyes gleamed. See. She belongs to it. Harlan raised his rifle. Get away from her. Harris's expression hardened. Careful. The air between them tightened, heavy as before a storm. Then footsteps sounded outside. Slow. Confident. Asha knew the rhythm. The elder of flames stepped through the broken gate. He was not alone. Men followed him, fewer than before, but enough. Turner walked at his side. Asha's heart shattered. You led them, she whispered. Turner's eyes flicked to her, then away. I had no choice. There is always a choice, she said. The elder surveyed the compound, amused. 2 soldiers, he said. Arguing over my fire. He turned his gaze to Harris. You smell of compromise. Harris inclined his head. We both do. The elder laughed. Then you understand. He raised his staff. The pool became unbearable. Asha screamed and collapsed, fire roaring in her veins. The wild blood. Through the pain, she heard Helen shout. No. A gunshot cracked the air. Silence fell. Asha forced her eyes open. Harris lay on the ground, blood spreading beneath him. Helen stood over him, rifle smoking. The elder stared, surprised for the first time. You have chosen, the elder said. Helen's voice shook. I choose the law. The elder smiled slowly. Then the law will burn with you. The men surged forward. Asha felt something snap inside her. The pain vanished. So did the pool. She stood. Fire rippled along her skin, not burning but glowing like heat on stone. The men froze. The elder stepped back. What have you done? He whispered. Asha looked at her hands, a light flickering beneath her skin. I broke the bond, she said, her voice calm and familiar. You needed my fear. You don't have it anymore. The elder's face twisted. Kill her, he snarled. No one moved. The fire around Asha flared brighter. Tono dropped to his knees. I'm sorry, he sobbed. Asha looked at him once. Then she turned to the elder. It ends, she said. The ground trembled. Far away, drums began to beat, not from Kijana, but from beyond it. From the road. From the district post. Reinforcements. The elder's eyes widened. For the first time, fear crossed his face. The fire around Asha dimmed. And the elder of flames began to run. For a moment, no one moved. The men who had followed him stood frozen, as if their legs no longer remembered how to obey. Ash clung to their skin. Fear clung harder. Asha watched the elder's back retreat into the scrub, his staff slipping in his grip, his steps no longer measured or dignified. Just an old man fleeing what he could no longer command. The fire beneath Asha's skin faded to a dull warmth. She swayed. Helen caught her before she fell. It's over, he said, though his voice shook. It's over. Asha did not answer. Her ears were full of blood and distant sound, boots shouting, the metallic clatter of rifles. The drums she had heard before were gone, replaced by something louder and less forgiving. The law had arrived. Soldiers poured into the compound from the road, rifles raised, faces hard. At their head rode a district officer in a dust-stained uniform, his horse snorting as it came to a halt. Helen stepped forward, raising one hand. Sir, he said. I can explain. The officer's gaze swept the scene, Harris's body on the ground, the men with ash on their faces, Asha standing barefoot and trembling. I know, the officer said curtly. We've been hearing about this fire for years. His eyes settled on Asha. And you, he said. You're the reason it finally spoke loud enough. The ash-marked men were disarmed quickly. Some resisted. Most did not. When Tono was pulled to his feet, he did not struggle. He looked only at Asha. I didn't want this, he said hoarsely. You wanted safety, Asha replied. At any cost. He bowed his head. Yes. They bound his hands. As the soldiers moved through the compound, Asha's strength drained away. Without the pool, without the fire holding her upright, her body remembered everything it had endured. Helen guided her to sit. You're free now, he said. She shook her head slowly. No. I'm alive. The difference mattered. They took her back to Kijana at dawn. The village looked smaller than she remembered. Huts crouched low, as if ashamed. The fig tree stood bare, its leaves dusted with ash. Smoke stains darkened the air around the shrine path, but the shrine itself had collapsed inward, stones black and cracked. Women watched silently from doorways. Children were pulled back by gentle but firm hands. Manalia sat on the ground near the center of the village. Her wrapper was torn. Her hair had come loose. Dried blood marked her temple. Asha broke free from Harlan's grip and ran to her. "Aunt," she cried, dropping to her knees. Manalia looked up slowly. When she saw Asha, something like peace crossed her face. "You lived," she whispered. "Yes," Asha said, tears spilling freely now. "Because of you." Manalia's hand trembled as she reached up and touched Asha's cheek. "I was wrong," she said. "I thought endurance was the same as goodness." Asha pressed her forehead to her aunt's. "You chose me." Manalia closed her eyes. Too late. But not useless. The district officer addressed the village before noon. His words were plain. There was no ceremony. No shouting. "The offering of first flames is murder," he said. "Those who practiced it will answer to the law." Some wept. Some protested. Some stared at the ground, as if hoping it would open and swallow them. The names were read. The Elder of Flames was captured before nightfall, found hiding near the old shrine, his staff abandoned in the dirt. When they brought him through the village, he did not look at Asha. He did not need to. The trial was held weeks later at the district post. Asha testified. Her voice shook at first. Then it steadied. She spoke of the drum. The choice that was not a choice. The fire. The pool. The bones. She spoke of running. She spoke of being hunted. She spoke of the scream in the night, the girl who had replaced her. The court was silent when she finished. The Elder of Flames did not deny it. "It kept us alive," he said simply. The judge replied, "So does justice." The sentence was carried out according to the law. Not by fire. By confinement. By stripping of power. By time. The tradition ended not with a scream, but with a signature on paper. It felt small. But it was enough. Asha did not return to live in Kijana. Some wounds do not close where they were made. She stayed near the district post, helping other girls learn to read notices, to understand laws written in unfamiliar words. She taught them how to listen for lies wrapped in tradition. Sometimes, at night, she still dreamed of fire. But it no longer called her name. When she returned to the village months later, the shrine path was overgrown. Children played where ash had once been swept carefully into circles. Manalia walked beside her, slower now, leaning on a stick. "Do you regret running?" her aunt asked. Asha looked at the sky, wide and ordinary and free. "No," she said. "I regret that it took running for the truth to be seen." Manalia nodded. They stood together in silence. Far away, a rooster crowed. Once. Twice. 3 times. The sound carried across the village, not as a warning, not as a call to fire, but as the simple announcement of another morning. And this time, no girl's name was spoken.